I think we need to make a distinction between 4 or 5 head teachers who are not happy with some of the comments from the executive and what the rest of the membership feels. These are 2 different things. Most of our members, in fact, are very happy with the way that the executive is working. In the case of the Notre Dame head teacher and deputy, who are the ones who have resigned, we have never ever mentioned neither Notre Dame or the membership for that matter from that school in any of our press releases ever. So I really don't see the issue there. With regards to my position right now, I think we made it very clear that I was elected vice president, and obviously when the president was promoted to a job in the Department of Education, I had to step in as president.
But the fact is, you went public with statements without consulting them beforehand. And do you also believe that you may have somehow damaged that delicate process of discussions between those leaders and the government by going public with the statement that you did?
We have a very important job to do, I think, and we have a role as a union, as an executive, to voice and express the concerns and views of our members. We are very careful in what and how we do this. We either have motions which are presented at AGMs, or we have meetings where we have a show of hands. When it comes to representing the members' views with regards to the new schools, we actually went to the schools concerned. That's Bishop Fitzgerald, Governor's Meadow, St. Martin's and Westside. And I can tell you that the teachers who were present there, and in fact some of the head teachers who are now complaining, were not happy with the way things were run. Now, some of the head teachers tell me now that things have changed during the Christmas holidays and that they no longer feel that the government is not consulting with them. Now, this is a completely different view, and I don't see why they didn't have the decency, in fact, to call me or call the executive, or if they're not happy with the way that the executive is doing things, to inform even headquarters in Rednon. I mean, we would be fine with that, but at least have the decency to do things correctly and not come out publicly with a public statement which is not even correct.
So do you accept that the school leaders have been consulted? It's just you yourselves, the Gibraltar Teachers Association, that hasn't been consulted?
Not necessarily. I mean, again, this is not Victor Gonzalez talking or the executive talking. Everything that I say are the views expressed by our members. When we went to Westside, it was extremely well attended, and the view generally there, 90-odd%, 99% of the people who were present, and most of the staff was present, were not happy with the way things were being done.
Well, the Minister for Education, John Cortes, says he has met with you on many occasions, and in fact he's written to you and hasn't had a reply. What do you say to that?
Well, again, that is misinformation. We had meetings with, after the meetings we had at the school, we had a meeting with Minister Cortes. I explained what the issues were. In fact, with some of them he even agreed, and he knew, for example, that management in Westside were not happy moving on to the new location. He stated that categorically. So that was not news to him. And following that meeting, he requested all the concerns in writing, which I did. So I wrote to him with all the concerns. Not my concerns, but the members' concerns from those specific schools. And then he wrote back a letter which I then relayed back to our membership. I didn't send the whole letter to the members, but I did point out all the main points in that letter from the Cortes. Some of them were things like, let's wait and see what the plans are like, and then people can decide whether we go ahead with the new schools or we depart ways, whether we go ahead together or we each go on our own way, which is fair enough. But I still needed to contact my members and see what they wanted us to do, and that's important.
Well, the government's rejected your statement, the leaders of some of the schools have rejected your statement, so where do you go from here?
Well, just this morning, I've been contacted some of the schools to try and arrange meetings again to do the follow-up work that, as a union, we need to do, which is contact our members who were not happy with the way that things were running in the first place, and hold a meeting in the schools as we've always done. And very sadly, I think, I don't know who the order has come from, but we are not allowed access to hold meetings union meetings in the actual schools. These were the words from the head teachers, 3 of them at least. One of them has not answered yet, but 3 of these schools, the head teachers denied access to the GTA to hold meetings with the members. I think it's important to remember that we still have a social partnership agreement with government. I think it's a very sad day for, I don't know, unionism, for Gibraltar as a society, when a union is not allowed access to have meetings and conduct union work. We're talking about a government that is a socialist Labour government. And to deny access to a union, I think, it's a very, very sad day to Gibraltar. Where are we going on from here? Well, we'll just have to have a meeting somewhere else. We'll use these premises, Macintosh Hall, if we're allowed, I suppose, and move on from there.